new government organizations control. This and more covered on ThreatWire. In a new Secure by Design alert released in tandem by the FBI and CISA, they highlight the need for developers and companies to be more alert of directory traversal attacks. A directory traversal attack is the exploitation of user input to maliciously access files and directories. This can lead to read, write, and execution of arbitrary files, which is bad. At the moment, CISA says that there are 55 directory traversal vulnerabilities active in their known exploited vulnerabilities catalog. They specifically call out CVE 2024-1708 and CVE 2024-20345, which recently were used to impact healthcare and public operations. A critical part of the solution for preventing these attacks is to sanitize your user input. During the design and development of a software product, developers should implement well-known and effective mitigations to help prevent directory traversal vulnerabilities, including the following. Consider generating a random identifier for each file and storing associated metadata separately, e.g. in a database, rather than using user inputs when naming files. In the case where the above approach is not taken, strictly limit the types of characters that can be supplied in file names, e.g. by restricting to alphanumeric characters. Also ensure that uploaded files do not have executable permissions. They encourage customers to ask vendors of conducted directory traversal testing. In addition, they ask for vendors to put safeguards and best practices into place earlier in the development lifecycle and keep the onus of maintaining safe software on the vendor. CISA has issued a critical alert for a severe vulnerability in GitLab designated as CVE 2023-7028, which is currently being exploited by attackers. This vulnerability, with a severity score of 10, enables attackers to send unauthorized password reset emails, potentially leading to account takeovers. First identified in a May 2023 update to GitLab version 16.1.0, this vulnerability impacts all subsequent versions. While accounts with two-factor authentication are safeguarded against complete takeovers, they are still susceptible to unauthorized password resets. GitLab has responded by issuing patches in newer versions of the software, 16.5.6, 16.6.4, and 16.7.2, and backporting these fixes to older affected versions, 16.1.6, 16.2.9, 16.3.7, and 16.4.5. In light of the active exploitation, CISA has directed federal agencies to apply these patches by May 22, 2024, as a preventative measure against further attacks. For users and organizations utilizing GitLab, it is crucial to update their systems immediately. If you are running an older or unpatched version of GitLab, it is essential to consider your system as potentially compromised and promptly check for signs of intrusion according to GitLab's incident response guidelines. There is a breaking hack that is affecting the UK's Department of Defense. One of their third-party payroll providers was compromised, leading to pilfering of bank information, names, and in some cases up-to-date home addresses of active and former UK military members. Upon learning of the breach, the system was taken offline for research, and the government has been providing active support for members of their military that were affected. They assure that no evidence was found of military operational data being obtained. What's been interesting about this breaking story is the fingers being pointed in the media. There are two breaking stories about this hack, one on the BBC and one on Sky News. The BBC article remains neutral about the potential attacker. However, Sky News articles point to China as the threat actor. They specifically call it the fact that two cyber attacks that occurred in 2021 were recently attributed by the UK government to China. Tobias Elwood, a Conservative MP and former soldier, told Sky News that China was probably looking at the financially vulnerable with a view that they might be coerced in exchange for cash. We remember that in February, the UK's National Crime Agency, the US's FBI, as well as in collaboration with forces from Germany, France, Finland, Japan, and more, took down the dark websites of LockBit, infiltrating the group. On May 6th, the UK's NCA posted an ominous tweet showing a 24-hour countdown to an official announcement. In tandem, the LockBit website was put back online, now showing that they plan on releasing secret information about the LockBit group and their leaders. In a comment to VX Underground, which, once again to my journalist friends, is a collective of malware researchers and enthusiasts, LockBit says, "I don't understand why they're putting on this little show. They're clearly upset. We continue to work." So I'm doing this a little bit off the cuff, but we do have an update to the LockBit story, which is that the United States Department of Justice has unveiled the leader of the LockBit ransomware group, or AKA who is LockBitSupp, and is offering up to a $10 million USD reward for the arrest or conviction of the administrator. The man is known as Dmitry Korshev, excuse me if I'm mispronouncing that, but they are now looking for this person and have posted photos, which will be somewhere on the screen now. So they have released apparently who that person is, but if I am correct, in a statement to VX Underground, LockBitSupp says that the FBI is bluffing, I'm not that person, and I feel bad for the real person. So who knows? Maybe it's real, maybe it's not. This story is still unfolding, and we will keep you updated on changes. One story this week was written by AI. Which one do you think it is? I'll let you know in next week's episode. As I said in the comments of last week's video, I wanted to try to see if I could use AI to write a story based off of real news and see if you could guess which story it was. It'll be interesting to see which one you guess, so please let me know in the comments below. I also wanted to re-ask the question I asked last week about Patreon. Is there anything specific you would like to see with the Patreon? Anything that would make you interested in it? I want to hear your opinions, and just as a reminder, our first official reading session for the book club is this week, but it is definitely not too late to join over at patreon.com/ThreatWire. As a reminder, supporting us over at Patreon helps us keep this show ad-free, and we really appreciate the support. Also, do y'all mind if I do something? I have a feeling they're watching, but if you're from the Linus Tech Tips team, I just wanted to say hi. Hi! Anyways, thank you so much for watching ThreatWire for the week of May 6, 2024. If you want to find me online, I'm at Ending with Ali everywhere. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck, have fun, and don't get caught.